This spreadsheet, this executive presentation, and this working project site were all created from the same messy folder of emails, documents, and raw data. And I didn't create any of them manually. ChatGPT did. OpenAI just released GPT-5.6 Sol and ChatGPT Work. And together, they fundamentally changed what ChatGPT can do. This is no longer just a chatbot that answers your questions. It can now take a goal, gather context from your files and tables, plan the work, and give back a finished product. Today, I'm testing 5 things that it can do, and the 5th one is where this stops feeling like a chatbot and starts feeling more like an automating system for your work. Hi, I'm Sadie. I'm an AI founder and executive, and I've spent my time helping people and organizations how humans and intelligent machines can work better together. Before we get into the demos, here is the easiest way to understand what changed. Regular ChatGPT is great when you have a question. ChatGPT Work is designed for when you need an outcome. You are no longer saying, give me a few great ideas for a presentation. You're saying, review the project information, analyze the data, identify the story, and create the presentation. That is a completely different relationship with AI. So let me show you what this actually looks like. For the first demo, I created a fictional AI adoption project. Like most real projects, the information is everywhere. There are meeting notes, email updates, project plans, budget files, and multiple people describing the status in, well, completely different ways. Normally, someone has to sit down, review all of that, and manually piece the real story together. Instead, I gave ChatGPT this instruction. Review all the project materials for this initiative. Create a 1-page executive brief containing the objective, current process, major accomplishments, blockers, decision requirements, owners, and the 5 most important aspects for the next 7 days. Distinguish confirmed facts from assumptions and cite the source for every major claim. Instead of immediately generating a generic summary, it inspected the information, created a plan, identified what is needed, and then assembled the brief. Now, I have an executive-ready update with project status, risks, decisions, owner, and the next steps. The valuable part is not simply that it summarized a few documents. It transforms scattered information into something that leaders can act on. This is the first major shift. See, AI is moving from information retrieval to work orchestration. For the second demo, I gave it the raw project data. The file has inconsistent labels, missing values, budget information, participation numbers, and milestone states. I asked ChatGPT to clean it up, validate the data, create a source data tab, build in its assumptions tab, calculate the key performance indicators, compare budget's actuals, actually forecast it, and turn everything into an executive dashboard. If you're not tired by that, I know I am. And specifically, I told it not to invent any missing values. That part matters. See, you do not want AI quietly filling in the information just to make the spreadsheet look complete. The result is a working financial model with formulas, assumptions, scenarios, and a dashboard. And this is where the human reviewer becomes essential. You see, AI can accelerate the analysis, but you still need someone who understands the business to verify the assumptions and decide what numbers actually mean. This is the human-machine collaboration. AI does not remove accountability. It allows the human to spend more time applying judgment. Next, I took the executive brief and financial model and asked ChatGPT to turn them into a board presentation. I uploaded an existing presentation template and said, using the project materials, executive brief, and financial analysis, create a 6-slide board presentation including why this matters, progress against the objectives, financial status, major risk decisions needed from the board, and the next 90 days. Match the visual system, typography, spacing, and layouts in the provided template. Keep each slide focused on one message. And now we have the beginning of a board-ready presentation. The first slide establishes the main message. The financial slide pulls directly from the spreadsheet. The risks are framed as decisions rather than a wall of text, and it all follows the overall design language of the original presentation. Would I send this directly to the board without reviewing it? Absolutely not. But did it eliminate hours of assembling information, outlining the narrative, copying numbers, and creating the first draft? 100%. This is the important distinction. The value is not that AI replaces the executive. The value is that it removes a large portion of the manual coordination that happens before the executive can apply their judgment. In the fourth demo, I asked ChatGPT to turn the same project into an interactive internal website. I told it to create a project command center containing an executive owner, milestone tracker, KPI generator, risk generator, decision log, document library, and the next 7 days of activity. And now the project is no longer trapped inside the static presentation or spreadsheet. Leaders can actually see the status. Owners can track their action. The information is organized around how the team actually works. This is where AI moves beyond creating content and it starts creating infrastructure for the work itself. But there's still a problem. You see, everything we just created will eventually become outdated. And that brings up the fifth capability. And I think this may be the most important one. ChatGPT now allows you to create a reusable workflow and schedule tasks. That means you can teach it how your organization performs a recurring process. Instead of explaining your reporting format every single week, you can define the process once and use it repeatedly. For this project, I created an executive project update workflow that contains required sections, a definition of critical risk, and a preferred writing style and approval process for our final quality check. Then I could schedule a task that says, every Monday morning, gather the latest approval project updates, compare them with the previous week's commitments, update the executive brief, flag the new risks, identify overdue actions, and prepare the draft stakeholder update. Do not distribute anything until I approve. And this is where everything changes. We did not just ask AI to generate 5 separate pieces of content. We created a system that can gather information, transform it, produce the required outputs, and help keep the project moving. This is much more powerful than asking ChatGPT to write an email or summarize a meeting. A quick note about models. Sol is now the flagship model designed for difficult, ambitious, multi-step work where quality and reasoning matter most. Terra is the more balanced option for everyday professional work. And Luna is prioritized for speed and efficiency. For a complex project like the one I just demonstrated today, I would use Sol. For quick drafts and lightweight tasks, you probably don't need the most powerful model every single time. So here's my biggest takeaway from all of it. The future of work is not going to be about who can type the cleverest prompt. It's going to be about who can orchestrate the best system. Can you clearly define the outcome? Can you provide the right context? Can you teach your AI the process? Can you evaluate the result? And can you decide where human judgment must remain? ChatGPT Work is powerful, but the human is still responsible for the vision, the standards, and the final decision. And this is what human-machine collaboration actually looks like. The AI handles more of the coordination and production. The human becomes the orchestrator. I'm Sadie St. Lawrence, and I explore how humans and intelligent machines can work together to build better businesses, systems, and future. Subscribe and comment below with the real business workflow you want me to test next.